Good evening and welcome to Lionel Rink here in Ithaca, New York on the campus of Cornell University, where tonight the Cornell University Big Red take to the ice for the first time this season an exhibition contest against the Czech University Selects team. Jason Weinstein joined by Tony Eisenhut. And Tony, this is a Cornell team that has finished just one goal shy of the Frozen Four each of the last two seasons, but a new era for Cornell hockey. Long time. Head coach Mike Schaefer retiring last season. Casey Jones, now head coach of the Cornell Big Red, a team that features 14 new players, including 12 freshmen, 2 sophomore transfers. A lot new about the Big Red this season. One thing that is not the expectations. This is a Cornell team that still expects to compete at the highest levels this season.
Yeah, definitely expectations are high. A lot of new faces. But another thing that's not new is the size of the Big Red. We're going to see a big hockey team that can get up and down the ice. And, you know, Coach Jones having actually played for Coach Schaefer, coached with Coach Schaefer for a number of years. A lot of similarities in the style of play. And it should be a great year for the Big Red as they learn to play with one another and those new faces get used to playing in line of rink.
This Czech University Selects team has made its way through North America, a couple of stops already, a 2-0 loss at Brown earlier this week, then the next night a loss 6-0 against Yale, a team that was by its own admission tired. Of course, you have that trip halfway around the world, and in the back-to-back nights it's not easy, and icing here against the Czech University Selects team, so we'll have a face-off in the Czech zone.
Yeah, it's a tall order for them coming, across seas and jumping right into it. This will be, I think, third game in 5 days, so they've got a lot to handle here.
Kukazicek against Castagna on the face-off, left circle in the Czech zone, off the draw, picked up by Piskac. Plays it up the right side wall. DeSantis trying to keep it in, but Kukazicek able to work that one out, but another icing, and the face-off will be back in the Czech zone.
And one of the things we'll see some similarities to a year ago for the Big Red, being aggressive on that right side from a defenseman standpoint, pinching down when the opportunity presents itself to keep that puck in the zone.
Castagna against Kukazicek once again on the faceoff. Castagna named an assistant captain. The junior wins the draw. Long in the left corner to DeSantis behind the cage. Kukazicek checking him. Along the wall, here comes Castagna trying to poke it loose. Piskac in there as well for the Czech team. Up to the point, handled by Figueres. First shot through the screen. That one deflects out of play. I'm sure we'll see a change coming from both teams. 2 straight icings against the Czech squad as they'll get a fresh crew out there.
It'll be interesting to see how they play the game here. If they try to slow it up at all again, talking about the number of games they've had over the course of the last five days, and it's a team, and talking to their head coach that I think he said they had only practiced together 2 or 3 times before they made the trip to the U.S.
Charlie Major wins the draw. Quick shot blocked between the circles, put on by the freshman Hiscock. And this could be another icing. Interesting strategy, Tony. 3 icings now for the Czech team.
Well, they've maybe got some confidence in their centermen and their ability to win faceoffs, but you know, a slow game is something that I don't think they'll be too frustrated with early on. Again, in our conversations with their coaching staff before, talked about the fact they're not used to the smaller rinks either, which made things a little bit quicker for them.
Major again on the draw. This one collected and a goal! Pirtle! Tough angle chance gets by, and the Big Red on top, 1-0.
Yeah, headsy play right there. Pirtle off the face-off, picking that puck up. Broken play by the Czech team. Defenseman not covering the area, looking for that loose puck, and Pirtle heads up play, beating the goaltender near post.
So Pirtle with the goal. Chase Pirtle, a freshman from Far Hills, New Jersey. He's still out there along with his junior teammate and fellow Cornell freshman Regan Hiscock, as Pirtle has the puck in the Big Red zone. So both Pirtle and Hiscock played with Victoria last season in the British Columbia Junior Hockey League. This puck makes its way to the Czech bench. And Pirtle with the goal. Can't hurt, Tony, in terms of making a play for playing time. Casey Jones telling us before the game that still a lot of roles to be determined on this Cornell team.
It's early, and the team's been on the ice, but again, practice is get you one level of evaluation, but how the hockey sense can only really be assessed in game-like situations here. And so these next two games tonight and next week are important for the coaching staff.
Off the draw, Wolfenberg takes it off the end wall, plays it up the left side boards. Rzikov sends that one in front, hit the post. Kraft couldn't get a piece of it as it comes length of the ice, and an icing call this time against the Big Red.
Yeah, nice play down low there by the Czech team. A little give and go, finding that soft area just inside the hash marks, and a quick one-timer.
It's an unassisted goal, at least to this point, for Pirtle. Off the draw. Side of the cage as well, now behind the cage. Bobchek poking it loose. Here comes Werner with the chance. That one steered aside by Keppel. Wolfenberg works it into the neutral zone. Kraft taps it ahead. Devlin giving chase. Devlin, along with Benish, sends it in front, and a goal! DeJulian knocks it home for the Big Red, and Cornell on top, 2-0.
Nice little forecheck by Luke Devlin down there to get that puck, force the puck to the middle of the ice, and DeJulian, Johnny on the spot to finish it. And he's a young man who knows how to put the puck in the back of the net.
DeJulian with the goal. 22 goals in 58 games last season for the Lincoln Stars of the USHL. In the neutral zone, Kukazicek works it back into his own end. Klot plays this ahead through the center zone, getting a piece is Yindra. Figueres on it for the Big Red. Works it up the left side wall. Kraft tips it free, but not out. Now to the center zone. Klot once again. Sends this one to the left corner. Figueres is there. Whistle behind the play. Looks like an offside. Face off. Coming outside of the Cornell end. So 2 goals in just under 2 minutes. Pirtle and DeJulian.
And each one of the lines getting an opportunity. This fourth line here, Catalano, Donaldson, and Ryan getting their first shift of the game.
Catalano on the face-off against Bernat. Bernat wins it. Piskat clears it into the Cornell end, and we've got a Czech player down. A tripping call coming up here against Cornell.
Yeah, Michael Fisher's going to go off, and it'll be interesting if they review this for a knee-on-knee play right here.
Piskat is down, and a somewhat good sign he's getting up, but certainly not putting any weight on that left leg.
Yeah, clear penalty against the Big Red. There's definitely a conversation going on. It looks like it's going to be 2 minutes.
Well, last season on the penalty kill, Cornell 16th in the country at 82.6%. Of course, we give you last season's statistic just as a guidepost, but 14 new players, Tony. It's far from the same team. Oh, a chance to see this Czech squad operate on the power play. Chance by Bernat goes wide. Kukazicek works that one. Back to Bernard. Kukazicek in the right corner. He's got VU on him. And Long able to send this one length of the ice. 1:33 left on the Czech power play. 2-0 Cornell. If you're just joining us, we missed a couple of goals not too far into the game. Pirtle in the first minute to Julian in the second. Ashton skates it down. Kukazicek sends it into the right corner. Devlin is there for the Big Red. Squirts free. Yindra carries behind the net. Novak directing some traffic from behind the cage. Fresh legs coming on for the Czech team. 57 seconds left on the Czech power play. Popple to the red line. Major trying to slow it down. Does enough for Ashton to get it and clear it length of the ice. Couple of length of the ice clears for Ashton. Luke Ashton, sophomore defenseman, a transfer from Minnesota State. Popple clears it into the Cornell zone. Keppel hands this one off to McCready. Trying to clear it out, he does. Panik with it. Sends it over to Robel, who clears into the Cornell end. So this Czech team really hasn't had much of a chance to set up on the power play. Good showing on the kill for Cornell. Figueres on the backhand in the right corner. Checked up there by Popple. 5 players battling for the puck. 3 seconds left on this Czech power play. So again, a strong showing thus far on the kill as Figueres takes it and clears length of the ice. This one rolling on cage. Both teams getting fresh legs on. Bellick carries ahead. Castagna on the forecheck, almost creating a turnover. Instead, Vovcek taps it down into the Cornell end. Veyu slips as he went to carry it ahead. Veyu now does clear as Werner looking to send it back into the Cornell zone. Had to wait for his teammates to get on side as Vovcek sends it back into the Cornell zone. Wolfenberg on the backhand. Vovcek breaks it up. Centers up. Could not connect between the circles. Vovcek gets it back. Wolfenberg tracks him along the end wall. Vovcek trying to shake off the sophomore defenseman. Drops this one for Benesh. There's a shot from the center point by Novak, deflected into the left corner. And Long takes it for Cornell, trying to clear. Werner couldn't keep it in. Here comes Castagna with DeSantis. Castagna to DeSantis. Goal! Nick DeSantis off the 2-on-1, and Cornell on top, 3-0.
Yeah, nice play by Johnny Castagna, but it really started in the defensive zone with a great shot block by Nicky DeSantis and sacrificed the body and got down to the other end of the ice, and nice 2-on-1. Castagna drawing in the defender, making the nice pass over for DeSantis to bury it in the one-timer in the back of the net.
So 3-0 Cornell just over 5 minutes into the game. Tony, you and I had a chance to talk to Tomáš Čeperko, the head coach for this Czech team, before the game. He recognizes it's just a different level right now, especially, Cornell, we mentioned a team that has fallen just shy of the Frozen Four each of the last 2 seasons. Major keeping it in the Czech zone. His team, you mentioned the players, they practice 3 to 4 times a week, play a game per week, don't nearly just have the ice time. Is a centering feed. Keppel with the stop. Another centering feed, this time broken up between the circles. Pirtle brings it through center. Drops it cross ice, broken up there by Popple. But the point being that he wants his team to go out, relax, have fun, but it's tough. Down 3-0 just over 5 minutes into this game. I think really nobody on either side wants this to get too far out of hand as this game goes along.
No, for the Big Red, it's important. You've got regular season starts against UMass, who I think will be on their 8th game. So these games are important for the Big Red.
Here's Fisher crossing, sends a cross-ice pass. And that's Ryan, who couldn't convert to get it on net. Instead, coming the other way for a moment was Ruta. Broken up, Donaldson to Arsenault. Arsenault in the left corner, poked loose by Nabalek. Nabalek tries to clear, kept in at least for the moment by McCready. McCready on the second opportunity, backhands that one down to the end boards. Figueres. Here's Arsenault in the left corner. Ryan behind the net. Devlin slipped in front. Don't know if that was the outlet Ryan was looking for. Ryan now does get it to Devlin. Chops it free. Arsenault on it. Kraft just onto the ice. Races to the puck. Bumps it up to Figueres. George Figueres drifting, shooting, tipped by Devlin just wide. Kraft looks to thread the needle and does. The shot by DeJulian saved. Novak. He's had a rough start. That his first save of the night.
Yeah, not a lot you can fault him on the first. Well, the first one he'd like to have back. The other two are tough shots for a goaltender, kind of left out on an island. You know, so far, you talk about not wanting this game to get out of hand. It's important for the Big Red to be able to be competitive the whole game.
Off the draw between the circles, knocked loose, Folda giving chase along the left side wall. And he helps push this one out. Piscotch. Good to see Piscotch back on the ice after he was tripped up earlier in this period. Keppel covers up. So Piscotch back on the ice. We'll have 5 new players on the ice for Cornell. Wholesale change. Big Red dressing 8 defensemen, 2 extra skaters on top of that, along with the 4 forward line. So no doubt Cornell's going to be rolling the line. Short shifts, try to get as many people a look as possible.
You saw on the penalty kill a few different combinations, some new faces this year. And you look at Luke Devlin as well, although he's a junior. He was out all of last year with injury, so good to see him back on that penalty kill.
Just out of the reach of Castagna, Piscotch gets there. And this tip free. Centering feed, Castagna on the goal! Jonathan Castagna, the feed from DeSantis. And Cornell on top, 4-0.
And Nicky DeSantis returning the favor from the previous goal where he got it from Johnny Castagna. So 4-0 with just over 8 minutes into the first period. And it is a tall order for the Czech team to come in here to play the Big Red. First game of the season. A lot of new faces, excited to be playing Atlanta for the first time. The energy's been high all week at practice.
Hiscock gets a piece as it comes into the Czech zone. Off the wall, Hiscock trying to poke it loose. Here's Major. Major turns to the right circle. Toe dragging shot goes wide. Pirtle. A goal tonight up to Ashton. Swings this one to Figueres. Through the screen, it's wide. Hard rebound up the left side wall for Pirtle. Major cross ice feed picked off by Pozar. He gets the red line and clears it into the Cornell end. Keppel to Ashton. Works this one up, and here's Major to the neutral zone. Gets the red line, continues to carry. Charlie Major, terrific freshman season last year. Major pokes it loose. Centering feed, Hiscock, one-timer goes wide. Highlight of Major's season, also the highlight of the Cornell season last year. Major assisted on the power play goal by Sullivan Mack. That was the game winner with 10 seconds to go against Michigan State in the opening round of the NCAA tournament.
And Cornell players talked earlier this week about last year's journey, because as well as it ended, there were some challenging moments during the course of the year, and a great learning lesson for this team in this year to understand it's a long season.
There were times, and we have a whistle here behind the play, there were times that Cornell dressed 8 forwards in a game last year. Big Red entered the ECAC postseason tournament as the number 6 seed. And again, oh so close to making it to the Frozen Four.
Talking about the character of the guys in last season, you look at a young man like Jack O'Brien out there in his senior year, and he's wearing a letter this year in large part because of the role and leadership he showed last year.
He played wherever Cornell needed him, up front, on defense, regular shift, spot duty, whatever the Big Red needed. Wolfenberg backhands this one. Catalano couldn't get a stick on it as Piscotch kept him off the puck. Novak with it. Teeing up from the left point, Panik. And the stop by Keppel. Wraparound chance, falls loose in front, and Devlin picks it up for the Big Red. Carrying ahead through center to Julian to Kraft. Kraft back in front to Julian, couldn't get a stick on it. Instead, Novak able to make the save. Veyu checked up by Rzija. 9:38 left to go here in the first. 4-0 Big Red with the lead. Pirtle to Julian DeSantis and Castagna with the goals for the Big Red. Clot, cross ice. Big Red on a line change, and Long pokes it down into the Czech end. Clot sends it to the right side. Nabilek works it through center. Veyu giving chase. Veyu gets there, bumped up there by Rzija. Long takes a check as well. This one making its way length of the ice. It'll be an icing call. And the faceoff will come back into the Cornell end.
Well, Czech team looks like must have got a little energy on the bench, or maybe a tongue lashing from the coach, because coming out a little bit more jump, but definitely some more physicality here we've seen on the last couple of shifts.
Popple on the draw against Castagna. Popple wins it. There's a blast from the point by Piscotch. In the neutral zone, Vavrik near side. Poked loose by Castagna. Trying to send in Long. Castagna now looking to control himself. Instead, knocked loose by Benesh. Castagna gets it back at center ice, only for a moment. Piscotch trying to get it to the Cornell line. Here's Benesh. Drops it down into the Big Red zone. Comes wide of Keppel. Fisher plays it up. DeSantis couldn't clear it out. Instead, Benesh in the backhand. Blocked in front by Ashton. Long. Here's Major into the neutral zone. Major, did he have the red line? He did. Icing waved off. Panik backhands this one. Picked up there by Werner. Deflected out of play. Face-off coming just outside of the Cornell zone. First, though, we will take a break. Fast start for the Big Red. 4-0 Cornell here in the first. This is ECAC Hockey on ESPN.
Getting to see Ivy League put on a national stage is just very, very cool to me.
I get to sit in a classroom with wrestlers who go compete at a national level, hockey players who are making it to championships. To watch them succeed, at a national level, it's pretty incredible.
I don't think I would be where I'm at if I went anywhere else. It's been really fun for me to just challenge myself and make it to those events and perform.
But now I think people are paying a lot more attention to what the Ivy League is capable of and putting some more respect on the league.
The Ivy League is going to be on the big stage more and more often, and I'm excited for that.
At Regeneron, our homegrown technologies and novel scientific approaches focus on serious diseases. And our medicines aim to change lives as we relentlessly pursue more. We know that even the tiniest spark of an idea has the potential for more. We move science to medicine because our world is meant for more.
My name's R.C. Holmes, and I'm from Watkins Glen, New York. So my son at the time was playing 6th grade basketball, and I volunteered ref. The ball got stuck on the rim. I said, I can jump up there and get it. I jumped up, got the ball, came down, and I severed my patellar tendon. We chose Schuyler Hospital. They just didn't fix my knee. They explained how they were going to do it in the process. So it puts you more at ease. My kids are glad that I'm back to normal, can run and jump and play catch with them. I would highly recommend Schuyler Hospital.
4-0 Cornell. Kukazicek against Major on the draw. Major wins it for the Big Red. Pirtle trying to tap that one out. Can't do it. Kukazicek keeps it in. Swings that one through the circle to the corner. Yindra for the Czech team after. It does come loose, and Pirtle able to knock it up and out. Major giving chase. Now back into the Cornell zone. Veyu taps to that one. Gives it away, though, behind the cage. Centering feed broken up Good play by Figueres to thwart that threat. Hiscock at the Cornell line, carries ahead. Hiscock trying to split the defense. Got held up. Major has it, though. He's down to the ice. Picked up, though, by Figueres. Has a lane into the check end. Figueres shot! And a goal! George Figueres!
And nice pickup of the loose puck in the neutral zone. Caught the Czech team on a change. And Figueres did a nice job protecting the puck. Able to get the shot off. And Big Red, the benefactor there of the change in the broken play, because a little bit of a tough sequence for the Big Red. Actually, the Czech team had them on their heels for a little bit on that line shift.
Piscott sends it through center. McCarty brings it around the end wall. Ryan gets it into the neutral zone. Donaldson takes a big check as Ubonic work it through center. Donaldson recovers, breaks it up, brings it down left side of the check end. Ryan in the corner for Cornell. One of 4 players after that one. Ryan sends it around the end wall. Fisher waiting for it, has it at the right point. Left side for O'Brien. Jovanek out with it for the Czech team. 6:40 left in the first. It's 5-0 Cornell. McCarty behind the Cornell net. Fisher poked it free. And now Devlin flips it to center. Devlin after it there. Tips it to his glove. Fisher. Cross ice, I think he was looking for DeJulian in the neutral zone. Couldn't connect. Now Folda able to send it into the Big Red end only for a moment. Through center, DeJulian hands it off to Kraft. Gets this one over for the one-timer by Fisher. Save by Novak. Another chance, this time McCready off the left side wall. Kraft trying to fight through a check. DeJulian centering up Devlin. Couldn't get it on net. Devlin after it behind the cage. Goes into the corner. McCready looking to keep it in. He does. Down the wall. Razija can't work it out. McCready kept it in. Now Razija gets it back, this time using the glass to get it out. Figueres collects at the Cornell line, and he'll clear in as the Czech team went on a change. Werner. Hemmed in. Here comes DeSantis. Tipped off his stick. Comes behind the net. Benish on it for the Czechs. Benish, forecheck by DeSantis, does a nice job to hold it up. Still comes out of the zone, at least eventually. Now Castagna trying to kick it free. He does to center for DeSantis. Back to his own end. Figueres there, goes across to Ashton. Ashton works it through center. Luke Ashton at 6'6", tallest defenseman in Cornell history. Christian Hilbrick at 6'7", a few years ago for Cornell. He was a forward up front. Although Ashton, who knows, maybe he grew an inch from Minnesota State. DeSantis after it. Far side of the neutral zone. This one, icing, will bring the face-off back into the Czech end.
And game's been getting a little bit helter-skelter here as this period's gone along. And I'm sure from a Cornell coaching staff, they're going to have some conversations with the players about making sure staying disciplined. Just because the score's 5-0 at this point doesn't mean they should be taking chances or getting out of sorts.
Wolfenberg carries down. We mentioned, Tony, still a lot of roles to be won here. So each player looking to put out good tape. O'Brien back to Hiscock at the point through the screen. Tipped in front. The save by Novak. And he holds on. Major in front, using that stick like a scalpel, surgical, looking for the opportunity.
Real heads-up play by Hiscock, filling in for O'Brien when he slid down the boards to fill the point position. And that shot was definitely looking for Charlie Major's stick. He knew where he was going with it in that high slot, a great deflection, but an even better pass.
Major on the face-off. He will take it against Kukazicek. Off the draw. Pirtle gives chase. Major as well. Popple, though, on the back end, gets it to center. Jindra knocked off the puck. Hiscock on it. Turns it up, but Jindra gets a piece to deflect it back into the Cornell zone. Veyu passes cross corner. Now it is Pirtle. Sends it through center for Hiscock. Checked off the puck, collected by Major. Major looks for an outlet. Broken up. Piscotch sends it to center. Veyu intercepts for Cornell. Veyu, first native of Quebec skater for Cornell since Yanni Caldas, who graduated in 2020. There are other Quebecois on Cornell, both goaltenders, and Justin Katz and Alexis Cornayer. We will see Cornayer later tonight. Yabonik sends it into the Cornell zone. Tony with Casey Jones as the head coach as Novak puts it on net. The save by Keppel. With Casey Jones as head coach, I've got to imagine we're not going to go years between Quebecois skaters on the Cornell roster.
It's been fun to watch Casey and his recruiting efforts. He can switch between French and English depending on who he's recruiting pretty quickly. So he's got that experience and upbringing. So very, very much a fertile grounds for recruiting, especially when you look at some of the new rules and CHL players coming into the league. And it'll be something this year as we watch the various teams. College hockey is going through quite the transitionary period from the addition of CHL players, and we've seen a number of teams who actually have players who played pro, whether it be in the AHL or in the East Coast Hockey League.
Off the draw. Ubanek trying to hem this one in deep into the Cornell zone. Battle for the puck. Along that right side wall, and a whistle. Caught under the glove of Ruta, it looked like.
And he's going to get a penalty. So Big Red are going to go up on the power play for the first time. So we've seen one penalty kill, special teams opportunity for the Big Red. Now we'll get a look at the power play.
Ruta pretending not to know where the penalty box is. Finally finds it.
So this unit with Ryan, Castagna, Major, Pirtle, and Figueres will get an opportunity. You've got two freshmen out there with two juniors and a sophomore.
Ryan, a forward, playing a point position. He has the puck now. One touch cross ice to Major. And Tony, you've seen him practice. Ryan certainly has the shot to play a point position in the power play.
Yeah, he's been impressive with that one-timer. He can bomb that puck.
Here's Major, not a one-timer, but passes to Castagna. Back to Major. Major over to Ryan. We have a loose stick on the ice. It belongs to Vavchek. Pirtle back up top. Now Major with it. Major to Castagna, one-timer. He pulled the trigger and sent it wide. Ryan backhands it to Castagna. Castagna gliding out there on the power play. Ryan to Figueres, one-time shot, kicked aside by Novak. Ryan. Here's Figueres, drifting in, goes to Major. Striding to the circle, cuts between the circles, his shot, and a goal! May have been tipped in front, but Charlie Major seems to be taking the congratulations of his teammates. And that power play goal puts Cornell on top, 6-0.
Yeah, Major, little quick hand, slipped into that soft area between the hash marks and just fired the puck on net, and it had some eyes and found its way to the back of the net.
So 6-0 Cornell. Big Red 1 for 1 on the power play.
So it was short and period on the power play. They did a nice job of moving it around and getting that puck off the sticks and on net, taking some shots.
Popple clears it back into the Cornell zone. Keppel leaves it for Ashton. DeJulian through center. Puts on the Jets as DeJulian. Behind the net. Leaves it for Devlin. He's met quickly by Piscotch, who takes it away. Can't clear the zone. Kept in by Fisher. Kraft from the left corner. Sends it in front, and the stop by Novak. Still loose. Devlin carries behind the net. Hands off to Kraft. Kraft bumped off by Piscotch. Kraft gets it back. Looking to thread the needle to Devlin, cutting to the net. Deflected. Devlin backhands this one. Ashton backs off and comes back into a more defensive position as Popple sends it length of the ice. Keppel plays it. Icing waved off here under a minute to go in the first. Donaldson works that one to the center zone. Klatt and Bernard work it into the Cornell end. Ashton there waiting for it. Gets it back to center. Arsenault carries over to the end wall. Gets it to Catalano. Returns it to Arsenault behind the net. Has some room. Steps out in front. The shot blocked in front. Here's Catalano. That one blocked as well. Veilleux lines it up through the screen. Kicked aside by Novak. 22 seconds left in the first as the Big Red keep on shooting here, up 6-0. First period closing seconds. Fisher will take a penalty here. This will bring an extra skater on for the Big Red. It's another penalty. Fisher and Arsenault both drawing penalties. A hooking call coming up.
Yeah, that'll be another special teams opportunity for the Big Red. Had the 5-on-4. We'll get the 5-on-3 at this point.
Jobanek heads off, and it looks like Nabalek's going off as well. 5.4 seconds left to go here in the first. And a 5-on-3 power play for the Big Red on top 6-0.
Seeing that first unit that we saw before of Major, Castagna, Ryan, Figueres, and Pirtle.
Castagna on the draw. He'll take it against Pozar. Referees for tonight, Mason Riley and Matthew Wild. On the lines, Patrick Capuzzo and Evan Ryan. Othra, Castagna to Major. 2 seconds left to go, and the save. Antonin Novak with the stop. 1.1 seconds left here.
Not enough time for the Big Red unless Castagna tries to shoot it on net right off the face-off.
And he does. Yeah. Blocked between the circles by Piscotch, and that'll do it for the Big Red in the first. But Cornell piling it on there, 6-0 here at the end of one.
Yeah, good period for the Big Red. Czech team obviously tired from a lot of hockey in a short period of time, so they'll need to regroup, probably talk a little bit about the style of play they're going to play in the second period, see if they can slow some things up and keep Cornell away from the front of the net.
Well, the first order of business will be to kill off what will be a 5-on-3 Cornell power play for 1:55 to begin the second period of play. So the Big Red on top 6-0. We will step aside when we come back. A look at what was a period dominated by Cornell. This is ECAC Hockey on ESPN. All Big Red here after one 6-0 Cornell over the Czech University Selects team. It's been a long trip for the Czech team, and it got a bit longer in the first. The Big Red opening the scoring in the opening minute, 57 seconds in, and getting the goal for the Big Red to start, Chase Pirtle. In the second minute of play, it would be another freshman in Gio DeJulian to make it 2-0. Nick DeSantis, Jonathan Castagna adding goals, each assisting on the other's goal. George Figueres making it 5-0, and then on the power play for Cornell, Charlie Major getting involved. So 6 goals, 6 goal scorers for the Cornell Big Red. 6 goals on 15 shots. Certainly not an easy first period by any means for Anthony Novak, the Czech goaltender, who did make, again, some saves, and it was a lot of high-quality chances, many getting by Novak, but others stopped by the Czech goaltender. And again, Cornell, Tony, a 5-on-3 power play to start the second period. The Czech team is going to have to find a way to stop the bleeding here. Yeah,
really going to have to figure out how to slow up the Big Red. One of the things that we're seeing tonight, and you've seen in practice since everyone's shown up at camp, is that this is a team that is very capable of skating, good size, real aggressive pursuit of the puck, and the Czech team saw that on the forecheck in here in the first period.
So 6 goals, 6 goal scorers, and we also saw Remington Keppel stop the 2 shots that he faced. We anticipate seeing Keppel and also Alexis Cornoyer splitting time here, so I would say about halfway through the second period, Keppel will exit. And so a chance to take a look at 2 goaltenders here tonight for the Cornell Big Red. Not that Keppel was tested much here, Tony, but what he had to handle, he handled.
Yeah, and early on in the first period, I think it was 1-0, might have been 2-0 at that point. The Czech team actually had a nice opportunity in the slot area and hit the post. And so there's a couple things from a Big Red perspective in the defensive zone they're going to want to tighten up on. The Czech teams had a couple of chances where they've been able to get open in that soft area between the hash marks just above the blue paint.
So the Big Red will look to keep it going in the second. We'll come back here in just a moment, break down the numbers for you and more. This is ECAC Hockey on ESPN.
Life can be complicated, but the way we treat people, not complicated at all. Our teammates and our classmates, our neighbors and complete strangers. The ones that look like us and the ones that don't. People that we agree with, and the ones we agree to disagree. How we respect one another and embrace our differences. How we treat one another. There is no in-between or other side. Listen to each other. Learn from each other. Act when you see what you don't believe. Expect equality. Life can be complicated. This part is not.
These Bulldogs are the top dogs. Auburn, an overtime winner, wins it into the round of 32. And Cornell will play on championship Sunday.
At Regeneron, our homegrown technologies and novel scientific approaches focus on serious diseases. And our medicines aim to change lives as we relentlessly pursue more. We know that even the tiniest spark of an idea has the potential for more. We move science to medicine because our world is meant for more.
Whether you're a high school or college athlete or a weekend warrior, Guthrie is the area's premier sports medicine program, offering injury evaluation, concussion management, physical therapy, and more. With a full team of providers across New York and Pennsylvania offering same or next day appointments, Guthrie gets you back in the game as quickly as possible. Call the Guthrie Sports Medicine team today at 866-GUTHRIE or learn more at guthrie.org/sportsmed.
At Team Impact, we pair kids who have been sidelined by serious illness and disability with college teams from across the country.
What's up, big man? You good?
It's more than a single-day meet and greet or photo opportunity. Our program places kids on a multi-year journey, becoming true members of a collegiate athletics team.
We are Penn State.
From signing day to game day.
I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact. All in, all together.
Tournament. Touchdown. Pass score. Up in the air. Good. With the first championship. Unbelievable.
All Big Red through the first. 6-0 Cornell at the end of one. Let's take a look at some of the other numbers, and many of them tell the story. A 15-2 shot on goal advantage for Cornell. The Big Red also with a power play goal. By the way, the Big Red starting the second period with a 5-on-3 power play for the first minute and 55. We do see the Czech team pretty solid in the face-off circle, winning 15 out of the 28 draws in the first period, but not just shots and opportunities, but high-quality opportunities, Tony, for the Cornell Big Red.
Yeah, there have been a few of these shots, 2-on-1 opportunities where Cornell literally had a tap-in on the back door, getting up ice into transition very quickly, making it tough for the Czech goalie to really be able to get square to the puck and make the saves. A couple others we talked about he'd probably like to have back as they leak their way through, but just a lot of sustained pressure for the Big Red.
Pirtle, DeJulian, DeSantis, Castagna, Figueres, and Major all scoring for Cornell. You can also add some assists to Figueres, Major. Caton Ryan getting an assist along with DeSantis and Castagna. So some multiple point getters, 6 goal scores for the Big Red. And for a first look at this edition of the Cornell Big Red, certainly an impressive first impression. We'll take a break, come back after this, have the second period for you. When we come back, it is 6-0 Cornell at the end of one. This is ECAC Hockey on ESPN. 6-0 Big Red. Second period about to begin in a couple of minutes as Cornell got 6 goals from 6 different goal scorers, and Cornell will have a 5-on-3 to start this second period for a minute and 55 seconds. Tony, the Big Red still looking to see where the pieces fit exactly. Casey Jones telling us they're all good pieces, but where will they fit? I'm not sure how much the first period told us, other than the fact that the Cornell Big Red certainly can develop some offensive chemistry pretty quickly, but you have to take into consideration this is a Czech team on an awfully long and grueling road trip. The competition will get tougher, and that's when some of the real decisions have to be made.
Yeah, so practice has become all the more important, and you look at this lineup. So first of all, you got 3 more players this year than you had on last year's team. Just more guys on the roster. Last year we already had a few injuries at this point with guys out, and tonight the Big Red have 6 players out. 5 of them are returners from last year who might be banged and nicked up. You got a Hoyt Stanley, Captain Ryan Walsh, Marion Moscow, Winter Wallace, and Parker Murray, who all have seen time and will compete for time this year. So the lineup is very deep, and some of what we're seeing tonight, is impressive. But some of those names, especially when you look at your captain who's not in the lineup, he's going to have an important role and be critical to the success as the season goes along. So a lot to see, a lot to prove, and I would argue even a lot more behind the curtain that we have yet to see.
When I asked Casey Jones about the absences of Hoyt Stanley and Ryan Walsh, he said he just wants to get them healthy for the season. So that's why they're not in the lineup here tonight.
And they've both been practicing, and I'm glad to report that they look good in practice. And both of them upperclassmen at this point, taking some leadership roles on with the number of new faces and young guys out there. So it'll be fun to watch them when they get back on the ice.
Well, it's set to begin the second period. A false start off the faceoff. A second does tick off the clock, so 1:54 left on the 5-on-3 Cornell power play. Castagna comes out. Pirtle comes in on the draw, and he will take it. Or will he? Still some confusion as to when we will drop the puck here. As we do, Pirtle wins against Bernat. Figueres will start things up from behind his own net. Castagna collects, comes into the neutral zone, gets the red, now the blue as Castagna sends it in front. That one goes off the stick of Ponick. Over to the left side wall, Figueres has it. Works it back down. Major, high slot. Weaving through, puts on the shot that goes wide. Castagna tips it into the corner, taken there and carried ahead. A hard clear on Cage, and Keppel with the stop. Bernat put some heat behind that one. 1:11 left on the 5-on-3 Cornell power play. Figueres drops it for Major. Castagna over to Pirtle. Here's Ryan, high slot, tips it to Figueres. Puck movement by the Big Red results in the Ryan shot. Novak got a piece as it goes out of play.
Get a line change here. Another look at a different power play group.
Veilleux and Ashton at the points. Veilleux, a freshman. Ashton, first season with Cornell. He is a sophomore after the transfer from Minnesota State. He has the puck. Goes to Veilleux to Ashton. Crisscrossing with the freshman. Veilleux has it, puts on the shot, saved by Novak. Long steps up, looks to thread the needle. Deflected behind the cage. Thread the needle for Veilleux, one-timer, goes wide. Long back to Veilleux. Across, here is a chance that goes wide, this time by DeJulian. Veilleux to DeJulian. Across to Ashton. Veilleux, Ashton, one-timer, loose in front, the shot, and Long with the chance, but Novak, highlight reel as he dives down on that one.
Yeah, beautiful save, square to the puck and flashes the leather. He's looking at a lefty, so opposite catching glove, and Johnny on the spot.
Well, that's one for the highlights for him. It has not been that kind of game, but certainly that one was a terrific sequence. It is Catalano in the draw for the Big Red. Here's Fisher with it. Slides this one across O'Brien, back to Fisher through the screen, and a goal! Power play goal for Fisher. And the Big Red extended its lead to 7-0.
Yeah, assist is going to go to, I think, Jack O'Brien on that one as he moved it back over to Fisher after the face-off win. Cornell at that point didn't have a power play group, despite the fact that they're still on the power play. They had that Catalano, Donaldson line with Arsenault out there.
Fisher, the other sophomore transfer, along with Ashton Fisher. It was a couple of seasons ago, but he did have a season with Northeastern in Hockey East. He then went back to junior with Penticton last season. Now he's back in Division I college hockey with the Big Red. So the power plays have officially expired, but there's a chance by Catalano. Save, rebound, deflected wide. Arsenault works it to the corner. Donaldson bumped up there by Ponick. Donaldson keeps it in the zone, puts on the shot, that goes wide. Jobanek can't clear the zone. Donaldson takes a bump as he sends it around the end wall. Arsenault. Catalano comes in as well, but Jobanek has it, and he'll get it to center. Jindra brings it over. Jindra looks for some help. Jindra. High slot continues to carry. And now hands this one off. Klatt the chance, saved by Keppel. Steers that one to the netting above the glass. And we'll have a defensive zone draw coming up for the Big Red.
Nice little sequence in the defensive zone for the Big Red, containing Jindra and making sure that he isn't able to get the corner on him and get his way to the net.
Kukazicek on the draw for the Czech team. He will take it against the Julian. Off the draw, Kukazicek, wins it. You know, you could jump in, Tony, on one of those names for me if you'd like. There's a chance off the left side wall and deflected in. Vovcek got the tip off the shot by Orsek. And the Czech team on the board. This is their first goal of this North American trip. Losing 2-0 to Brown, 6-0 to Yale. While on the board here now down 7-1 against the Big Red.
And nice play down in front, getting finding some soft open area and right in front of Keppel and able to get a stick on it. Nice little deflection, beating the Cornell goaltender 5-hole. He was all alone on the doorstep.
Time of the goal coming at 2:58. So the Czech team on the board. And off the draw, Veilleux has it. Off the skate of Long. Freshman catches up to it in his own end. And brings it up ice to DeSantis. DeSantis trying to chip it free between the circles. Collects, loses the angle, so he'll look for some help. There's Long, a shot deflected. Getting a piece for the Czech team, Vovcek, who then sends it through center. Wolfenberg turns it the other way. Novak. By the way, a different Novak now in net. Christian Novak instead of Antonin, who played in the first period. Fisher deflected between the circles by Castagna. So Vovcek again with the goal. And 2:58 of the second to make it 7-1. Major brings it up ice. Near side of the neutral zone, Pirtle chipping it. Couldn't advance, Hiscock has it, and he will clear. So Tony, Casey Jones keeping Hiscock and Pirtle together. Again, the junior teammates from a season ago.
And
Ashton looking to clear. Novak able to keep it in. Fulda, left side wall. A little more jump for this Czech team here in the second period. Fulda shaking off Ashton. Goes up top. Piskek with the one-timer blocked, and Pirtle has it. Pirtle to Hiscock. Major trailing. Major has it. Back to Hiscock. Bumps this one up. McCready across to Figueres. Knocks it off the end wall. Major tips it in front. No one there for the Big Red instead. Fulda carries ahead. Ziha puts it on net, and the stop by Keppel. Catalano shakes off his man, Benish. And in the corner, Catalano trying to send it in front. Arsenault couldn't get a handle on it, goes after it in the corner. Catalano bumping. Arsenault tries to come out with it. Instead, Figueres picks it up top on the backhand, sends it wide. Arsenault after it. He's got Panek draped on him. If anything in the second period, Tony, the effort has been there by this Czech team. Figueres with it. Hands off to Ryan. The freshman steps up between the circles. Couldn't get a shot off. Figueres gets it back to Ryan. Figueres down the left side wall. Back up top. Catalano. One-timer. McCurdy sends it wide. Jacob Kraft keeps it in on the backhand, but Klott is there and clears it out. Will it be an icing? No. Patrick DePuzzo waves his arms across. Icing waved off. McCready carries ahead. Devlin, a step into the zone. Drops it on the backhand to the end boards. To Julian. Over to Kraft. Wolfenberg sends it between the circles, picked off by Jindra. Kukazicek drops it. Jindra the shot that goes wide. Back up top, and Piskach can't keep it in the zone. This will come length of the ice. DeSantis tips it free, coming down. Left wing side, Castagna in front for, oh, that was Long, who had a one-time chance. Couldn't get it on cage. Kukazicek can't clear it out. Castagna slides it to O'Brien, who picks it up. Back to Castagna. Castagna in front to Santos. Looking to gather and shoot, couldn't do it. Wolfenberg from the point. His shot blocked at the top by Jindra. And here's DeSantis at center ice. This one bouncing on net, and Novak with the save.
And Cornell, again, getting some nice pressure when they're down deep in the offensive zone. Couple of breakdowns, though, in the defensive zone, and definitely some video and tape that the Big Red will be able to watch, talking about defensive zone responsibilities. Couple of opportunities after the goal that the Czech team scored. Again, players all alone in front of the Big Red net, and Remington Kempel coming up, making some nice saves.
It is Major on the face-off for the Big Red against Bernat. And off the draw. This one gets by Fisher at center ice. Comes into the Cornell zone. And the face-off now back into the Czech end. Bit surprised the linesman didn't rule that Fisher had a chance at that one.
It's preseason for them as well. Everyone gets the opportunity.
Thank goodness we're in mid-season form, Tony.
That's right.
Major on the draw against Bernard again. And off the face-off. First on it, Klott for the Czech team. Poked loose, kept in by Ashton. Hiscock. Major can't get a piece. Instead, Ruta to the red line as he clears it in. Keppel directing traffic. Major bumps it up to Ashton. Can't clear the zone. This one kept in. The shot blocked in front. Getting a piece was Fisher. He'll be whistled, though, as he passed that with his glove.
Smart play by Fisher. Take the whistle rather than have that puck sit right in the slot area and give the Czech team an opportunity to get a shot on net. this Fisher and Ashton, the pair of transfers, one from Northeastern, the other from Minnesota State, both draft picks, the NHL.
Fisher, a third-round pick of San Jose back in 2022, and Ashton, a sixth-round pick of Columbus back in 2024. Wraparound attempt by Nobilek. Now a shot off the right side wall. That one put on by Roble. Ashton with it, and he will clear this one. Rolling into the Czech end, icing the call, but it looked like Hiscock had won the race to the goal line, or the dot, I should say, maybe not.
Coach Jones looking for an explanation.
Doesn't look like he'll get one, at least not one that's
Nope.
satisfactory.
No.
Mentioned Ashton, a draft pick of Columbus. Not the only Cornell presence in the Columbus developmental camp over the summer. Jane McNally, beat writer for the Cornell Daily Sun. She interned for Columbus in their media department. Met up with Ashton, wrote an article about Ashton. A big takeaway from that is one of his main questions during the recruiting process to Cornell: do you guys really throw fish onto the ice?
Yeah.
And indeed, that has happened at a Harvard game once or twice.
Yeah. He'll be seeing it later this year. I think it's maybe a January time frame.
Well, we have the schedule in front of us here, Tony. It's one of the many services provided by the Cornell Sports Information Department. And indeed, on January 24th, Harvard comes to town. Here is Sean Donaldson trying to connect with Catalano. Catalano has it. Goes cross corner with his pass, but that will hit the heel of the stick of Ryan. From outside the zone, the chance by Fulda goes wide. Keppel may have gotten a piece. Here comes Donaldson. Gets the red line, clears it into the Czech end. Off the end boards, Piscotch on it. Just off the bench into the play. Popel. McCready checks him up. Puck loose and off the skate of Novak at center ice. He'll get it back. Gets by O'Brien. Novak in the left circle. McCready able to break it up. Piscotch in his own line. Icing the call. 10:15 left in the second. Face-off coming back into the Czech end. Again, much different second period here. More jump by the Czech team. A much more even game in terms of each team with a goal apiece. We've seen the Czech team with 5 shots midway through the second period as opposed to just 2 all of the first period.
And from a Big Red perspective, it's something they've got to take as an opportunity to learn from. You got to keep the pressure on it because things can change very quickly. Obviously, big goal differential, but just as far as the territorial play and area where the game's happening is definitely changed much more back and forth in this second period.
10:01 left in the second. Kukazicek on the draw. He will take the face-off against Castagna. Kukazicek whistled out. Here comes Jobanek. And off the face-off near side of the neutral zone. Comes to Wolfenberg, goes to Ashton. Looking to thread the needle to Castagna. Did he get a piece? He did. Icing waved off. Castagna takes a check. Puck loose along the right side wall, and Jindra able to get that one into the neutral zone. Kukazicek works it by Ashton. They go after it left corner. Bumping there. Kukazicek at 6'3" can handle the 6'6" frame of Ashton. Panic works it into the left corner. It is Long with it to Ashton. Plays this one ahead. Veyu cross ice in the neutral zone. Here comes Long. Long high slot. Can't get a shot off. Indra behind the Czech net. Panic works it to center. That is where Ruta backhands it into the Cornell end. Now Keppel plays it. I would anticipate next whistle, and I might be wrong, I would anticipate next whistle will have the goaltending change. Cornwall is the other goaltender slated to play here tonight for Cornell. Veyu gets it into the neutral zone. Pirtle ahead to Major. Charlie Major tried handing it off, couldn't connect with Pirtle. Bernard knocked off the puck as Fisher picks it up.
Yeah, first shift for Devin Hamilton.
You mentioned the first shift. Hamilton, a Buffalo, New York native. 6'3" freshman. Fisher picks it up. Folda on the forecheck. Couldn't try to get that one loose. Now it is Rzija clearing it into the Cornell zone. Hamilton picks it up. Mention the new players, Tony, for Cornell, and just a lot of size in that new group. Cornell officially the second tallest team on average, just behind UMass. That'll be the matchup, by the way, to open the regular season for Cornell out in Amherst, Massachusetts. UMass at 6'1.9" on average. Cornell 6'1.7" on average. Arsenault drops it in front. The stop by Novak. And some sticks after the whistle. Haven't had too many extracurriculars in this game, but that is one of them. And we will have a break on the ice. We'll take one here as well, and we will have a goaltending change for Cornell when we come back. It is 7-1 Big Red. This is Cornell Hockey and ECA Hockey on ESPN. Big Red on top, 7-1 in control here. 7:30 left to go in the second. Face-off offensive zone for Cornell. Catalano to take it for the Big Red. We do have that goaltending change for the Big Red at the other end of the ice. Alexis Cornwall, freshman goaltender. We talked to Casey Jones before the game and asked him about who we'd see. He mentioned Keppel and Cornwall would be the two. Might be tested here early. Redirect attempt by Vovcek, never reached the net. O'Brien with it behind the cage. Catalano tips it. Might not be enough though. It was enough to take the icing off. Orsek touching for the Czech team. Figueres has it at center. Figueres carries down, centers up. No stick there to redirect. Ashton cannot keep it in the zone. Figueres has it at center ice. Casey Jones saying he anticipates competition at the goaltending position, but he also says we'll have good goaltending. So he has confidence, at least here at the start, in both Keppel and Cornwall. We'll see how Roost and Justin Katz, if they make their way into the mix as well,
Yeah, they've looked good in practice. The goaltending core is very deep this year with all 4 of them.
Devlin got a piece, but not redirecting on net. Panik waits for it, gets it for the Czech team. Puskar. Here comes Benish. Benish through the left circle, puts on the shot. Cornway the save, rebound chance by Popple. Cornway denies him as well. And a good early showing here by Cornway.
Cornway listed as 6'4", and not only is he tall, he's got a nice frame on him. He takes up a lot of space and very athletic for a big guy.
5th round pick of Montreal last summer. Kukazicek on the draw, left circle in the Cornell end. He will take this one against Castagny. Now he won't, as he's taken out. Jobanek on the faceoff. Jobanek able to steer that to the left corner. Castagny is on it for the Big Red. In the air, Jobanek and Hamilton. Hamilton can't work it out. Jobanek will chase it down with Veyu in the left corner. And again, Tony, credit to this Czech team. This second period, a far different period for the University Select team, although here, a giveaway in the defensive zone for the Czech University Select team, a chance for Nick DeSantis, the save by Novak. But that aside, certainly a much better period and shaking off what could have been a disheartening first period to come back strong here in the second.
No, it's impressive what they've been able to do here in the second period to turn the ship. Really, second period's a 1-1 second period versus the 6-0 first period, and it's a tough thing to do.
Icing call here brings it back to the Czech zone. And that has to feel good for Cornway. You're on the ice just a couple minutes in. You get those first 2 saves, and they weren't easy. Good shot on the first chance and then a rebound, although you wouldn't want to give up the rebound, but you did, and you were right on that one as well. Yeah. So kind of like taking that first hit in football.
Yeah, no, from a goaltender's perspective, they always want to face shots. Much prefer facing shots than not seeing anything.
Gorski touching for the first time tonight. I think we'll get a few firsts in this one as we, again, are seeing Gorski now, who we haven't before. Haven't seen, or actually we did see Donovan Hamilton now for a couple of shifts
here.
Nobalek's on it for the Czech team. And a penalty coming up as Hiscock goes down.
Yeah,
we'll see Puskar off for the Czech team.
Awkward position right along the boards there, and Regan Hiscock's going to be a fun player to watch for the Big Red. He's a big body, gets up ice, can put the puck in the net, and he likes to play physical. And as his career evolves here and he goes through the training regimen here for the Big Red, he's going to just he's got the potential to be Colin Greening-like in his approach to playing hockey.
It is Folda in the box. Cornell now on its 4th power play tonight, 2 for 3 so far. Cornway holds it up, and Ashton will bring it ahead. Veyu across to DeSantis with speed through center. DeSantis comes behind the cage, works it back up top. Veyu down to DeJulian. DeJulian, one of the 7 goal scorers for Cornell tonight. Short-handed. Here's a rush by Rizaha. Long comes the other way. Long puts on a chance. Novak with the glove, and he holds on.
Novak coming out, challenging Long right out at the top of the circle, and those lefties are always a challenge for you when you face them, and especially when you switched it in the middle of the game. Pretty straightforward, but when you move the catching glove to the other side, it kind of changes the whole perspective.
Off the draw, Castagna for the Big Red. Trying to set up this power play, but Again, the Czech team's solid in the circle here tonight. Figueres tracks it down. 1:11 left to go on this Big Red power play.
Much more aggressive on the penalty kill than what we saw in the first period.
Major on the backhand to Castagna. Gets it free. Some open space for Ryan. Looks like the Big Red will reset here on this power play. 55 seconds left on the man advantage. Major, nice job to weave his way through. Ryan on the backhand. Novak broke it up behind the net. Figueres keeps it in to Major. Some space for Major. Toe dragon shot, glove down by Novak.
Again, Novak playing very, very strong in net. A lot of confidence and really challenging the shooters.
33 seconds left in the Cornell power play. Devlin on the draw. You mentioned the injuries last year to Devlin, Tony. It was tough because he had a promising freshman season, the 6 goals in 30 games. And you love to see players build on something like that. Didn't have that opportunity last year. And you hope he stays healthy for a lot of reasons. But in terms of hockey, get a chance as he's on the rush here. Slides it in front. Novak was waiting for it and makes the stop.
And his style of play is definitely a difference maker. You know, he's a big body, plays with incredible intensity, skilled, but he's going to use his brawn to create chances both for himself and his teammates. He's going to be a great addition to have back in the lineup this year.
Devlin against Benish on the faceoff.
You know, last year was a tough year for him and got to spend some time with him, and he just, I think, really helped with his perspective and appreciating what he has and the opportunity and relishing every moment.
Well, coming the other way, at least for the moment, was Poskar. And Poskar had it poked away as Devlin tips it into the Czech end, icing the call. And the faceoff coming back into the Cornell zone. It's funny, there's a bit of an odd connection between Devlin and his new teammate, Gio DeJulian. As Devlin, his dad, Matt, television play-by-play announcer for the Toronto Raptors. DeJulian, his grandfather is Gary Thorne, former Orioles play-by-play broadcaster. Also called a number of sports for ESPN. So they have some, well, they're going to take our job, basically, is what I'm saying, here in a couple of years.
They got the pedigree.
That they do. Poskar drops this one off. Slipped as he did, but it leads to a rush at the other end. Chance by Werner. Goes off the glove of Cornell. Benish. Sandwich between Kraft and Ashton. Devlin rolls this one into the Czech, and it will come just wide of the cage, icing the call with 1:55 left. As I don't think we see the Big Red in midseason flood the zone mode off of an icing call. It looks like the players who should be on the ice stay on the ice for the Big Red.
Yeah, we've at this point it's early in the season.
Although wait, we do see 6 on the ice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Sean Donaldson working his way out and making his way back to the bench.
He came on, number 11 came on, and number 21 went back to the bench thinking, maybe, you know what, the officials, they see one of the numbers. That's next level.
Yeah.
That is next level. And Cornell gloves this one.
Cornell, as I said earlier, a very athletic goaltender and active. He'll be fun to watch when he gets his opportunities, because I think he's going to be pretty aggressive moving that puck up ice and trying to be part of the transition, third defenseman out there.
So to recap, the Big Red outscoring the Czech team 6-0 in the first, outshooting the Czech team 15-2. Here in the second period, Cornell outshooting the Czech team 10-9, and each team with a goal. Catalano getting a piece, can't control though for the Big Red. Arsenault comes in. From the corner, Arsenault. Across, connecting with O'Brien. He turns, puts it on through the screen, blocked in the circle, loose between the circles. Gorski steps up, picks his spot, and hits the post. So Gorski found some pipe on his first opportunity. The freshman defenseman did pick up 3 goals with the Chicago Steel last season, 59 games.
Yeah, some nice poise there as that puck popped out. And rather than just fire it right away, carried it down in, looked for his opportunity, and as you said, just wrung it off the post.
And will this be icing? No, it comes on net. Cornell forced to glove it.
We're seeing Coach Jones going a little bit deeper in the lineup. Gorski and Hamilton both listed, Gorski's listed as the 8th defenseman. Hamilton is the extra, both getting regular shifts out here through the course of this second period.
Long trying to chip it out of the zone. Donovan Hamilton, now DeSantis between the circles. Nice pass up to Long, who has a step. Here comes Long, puts on the backhand. No, he doesn't put on a backhand chance. Went to the backhand, just couldn't pull the trigger before he lost the angle. And the neutral zone. Long ahead for DeSantis, good look. Trying to find the senior DeSantis. Novak puts the check on him. DeSantis chasing it down, but doesn't get there. Ahead of Bernat. Novak leaves it for Orsak. Orsak an assist tonight on the lone Czech goal. Novak plays it himself from his own goal at center ice. Pub will try to send in Folda. Offside the call. Face off with 7.8 seconds left to go here in the second period. Will be just outside of the Cornell end. Actually, looks like it'll be center ice. Off the face-off. Folda clears it in. And this is where the second period will end. A much more even second period. Good showing by this Czech University Selects team, trading goals for Cornell. It was a power play goal by Michael Fisher, and the Czech team responding. Vavcek getting the Czech team on the board. And at the end of 2, it is 7-1, Cornell with the lead.
And that's a period the Czech team's going to be very pleased with, coming back off of a tough first period. Competing, making things much more even, and obviously just right off the first period and play a 2-period game from here on in, and they did a nice job of changing their mentality and competing with the Big Red.
And so at the end of 2, Cornell 7, the Czech University Selects team 1 will step aside. This is ECAC Hockey on ESPN+. 7-1 Cornell with the lead at the end of 2 periods of play. It was a 6-goal first and then a much more even second period here, as the Big Red did open the scoring in the second period. Michael Fisher getting a power play goal. The Big Red did begin the second period with a 5-on-3 power play. Goal at 1:47 of the second made it 7-0 Cornell, and you think, oh boy, here we go, more of the same. A much tighter second period by the Czech team, and the cherry on top of that effort was, of course, the goal. It was a chance by Orsek off the left side wall, and Vavcek getting the goal right in front of Remington Keppel to get the Czech team on the board. Again, Czech's first goal of this swing through North America, losing 2-0 to Brown, 6-0 to Yale, and now here at least having a goal to show for their efforts. The Vavcek goal making it 7-1, and thanks to some saves from there by both Keppel and also Novak, and then Cornwall coming in for Cornell in relief of Keppel with about 7.5 minutes left to go in the second period, keeping each of the teams off the board since then. That goal by Vavcek at 2:58 for the final 17 minutes plus, no goals. We had an even second period, shots 10-9 in favor of Cornell in the second, goals even at 1 apiece. So it was a much more even second period, and really looking forward to this third here, Tony, as the Czech team seems like it's found a little something here against the Big Red.
Yeah, these are, again, the preseason are opportunities to evaluate and opportunities to test some messaging and seeing how guys respond to making mid-game adjustments. And, the coaching staff obviously will be talking to the team about this second period. Took their foot off the gas a little bit, got a little complacent, allowed the Czech team to get back in it from a competitive play standpoint. So I'm sure we're going to see the Big Red come out with a little bit more jump in their step in this third period and try to get some pressure and a quick goal on the Czech team.
And again, still jobs on the line for the Cornell Big Red, as it's just this and then next week's exhibition game against the U.S. under-18 team, then right into the regular season. So not too many chances to impress, and the third period being one of those chances coming up. First, though, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the numbers and what was a much more even second period. This is ECAC Hockey on ESPN. Big Red on top, 7-1 through 2 periods of play. Much of that damage done in the first, the 6-goal first period. Teams even in the second with 1 goal apiece as we take a look at the numbers. Through 2 periods of play, Cornell still a 25-11 shot advantage. Just 10-9, though, in the second period. And one thing we've seen, Tony, is we have the debut of the Eisenhut supercomputer here in the first broadcast of the season. In the face-off circle, the Czech team, a bit of an edge.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're 56% victory for the Czech team in the face-off. Cornell at 44%. We got Castagna leading the way from the guys who've taken a majority of the face-offs at 53%. Charlie Major, 5 for 14 at 36%. And Gio DeJulian at 40%, 4 for 10 for the Big Red.
Now here's my question. Is that 54 face-offs through 2 periods? Seems like a high number.
It is. And we saw a lot of that in the first period as the Czech team was icing the puck to slow things down early on. It's lightened up a little bit here in the second period, but a lot of helter-skelter stops and starts in that first period.
Well, both teams will be looking to finish strong in the third. We will step aside, come back, and get you the third period. When we come back, this is ECAC Hockey on ESPN. (7-1) Big Red, third period coming up as Cornell playing the first of 2 preseason contests. The other one coming up on October 25th against the U.S. Under-18 team, the National Team Development Program Under-18 team for the United States. A somewhat common preseason opponent for the Cornell Big Red. This team, of course, not the Czech University Selects team. One thing I wanted to talk about, Tony, the power play for Cornell, 2 for 4 here tonight, and I don't know if tonight's game's the best barometer of where things stand or will stand this season in terms of the power play, but last season, the power play was a problem for the Big Red until it wasn't. It was statistically one of the worst in the nation. Ended up 59th in the country at 14.7%, but that doesn't take into account how in the postseason seemed to kick into gear and was a big part of that postseason run all the way, again, just a goal shy of the Frozen Four for the Big Red last season. And that's going to be something that could be, if you look and compare, well, what can this season's team do that maybe last season's team didn't? That regular season power play could be a big boost if the Big Red can find those pieces to come together and get what, again, last year's team couldn't, and that consistent power play production.
Yeah, and the Big Red have the talent. Last year, again, snake bitten with injuries pretty much most of the season. And when playoff time finally came around, it was probably the healthiest the Big Red were all season long. Some very talented players offensively, skilled out there. Guys like Johnny Castagna had a great summer and looked fantastic. Charlie Major looked fantastic. Having some early success will help with the confidence.
DeSantis chips this one into the Czech end. Kukazicek takes a check behind the cage. In front, long the shot. Saved by Novak. And Castagna trying to pick it free. Kukazicek has other ideas. He goes into the corner, backhands it up and not out. Veyu keeps it in, puts it on through the screen. The save by Novak.
Yeah, Novak doing a nice job right there. Some banging right in the crease. Castagna doing a nice job getting the puck to the net, and Novak staying strong, holding his position, and ultimately covering up that shot from the point.
Major against Bernat. Bernat has been, I'd say, sneaky effective, but maybe more than just sneaky. 10 of 16 on faceoffs for the Czech team here tonight. I don't know if the Eisenhut supercomputer has computed that percentage.
It's pretty good.
I want to say 62.5.
Yeah, I think
that's correct. Off the draw, Ryan with the one-timer, blocked by Vavcek. Nabalek couldn't advance it out. Ryan giving chase along with Vavcek in the corner. They bump. Bernat gets it free and works this one ahead. Nabalek to center. Waves at it, gets it into the Cornell zone. His cock there, he can't clear. Off the right side wall. Ruta. Chance is blocked by Ryan. Major hands off to Ryan at center. Hamilton leading the way. Here comes a feed in front. Hiscock looking for either Hamilton or Major. Now Major behind the net. Major knocked out. Got a glove on that one. Maybe got away with it as Kraft comes in, puts on the shot. Saved by Novak. Maybe that was a hand pass, or at least a partial hand pass by Major, which in the offensive zone is a no-no. Hamilton makes his way to the neutral zone, gets the red line and clears into the Czech end. Novak watches that one come around the end wall. Kraft got a piece, as did Panek. Now out with it. In the right circle, the shot by Devlin goes wide. Ashton to Devlin. Drops it for Ashton. And again, we'll see what numbers in the early season Devlin puts up, but he just looks like he's got that jump, he's got that energy. And again, it's all about health with Devlin. It hasn't been there for a bit, and it's good to see him out there. Here's Ashton on the backhand, looking for Kraft. May have gotten a piece. Icing is waved off. Not that it was ever a threat, as Panek took it at the check line. He gets it back there. Robel tips it. Ashton off the end wall for Gorski. Gorski makes his way to the red line and clears. Donaldson sends it in front. Popple intercepts for the Czech team. Popple gets it back at center. And he'll slide it down the right side, all the way to the end boards in the Cornell zone. Cornway hands it off. Big Red still trouble getting it out of the zone. Centering feed. Bonish Deflected it wide. Novak down the right side, cutting to the cage. He's bumped off there as O'Brien takes him off the puck. Figueres slides it ahead just out of the reach of Arsenault. This could be an icing. It will be. And the faceoff coming back into the Cornell end.
Another nice opportunity for the Czech team. Little give and go coming out of the corner. Just a little bit long on the pass. But right area, right opportunity.
Catalano against Kukazicek on the faceoff. Off the draw. Blocked in front. Here's a turnaround chance by Yindra. Goes wide of Cornwall. Figueres sends it to the left side wall. Nabalek in the corner. Figueres on him. Arsenault comes in for Cornell and squirts free to the right corner. Battle goes there, although we have it's O'Brien hauled down, and I believe this is going to be Jobanek going off for the Czech team. He will make his way to the penalty box. And
nice effort by O'Brien to fight his way for the puck, and just that tenacity and effort is what ended up drawing the penalty.
Jobanek off to the box. Cornell 2 for 4 on the power play tonight. Chance number 5.
Little change up on this power play unit. Luke Devlin out there. Be a big body down in front.
2 for 4 with 12 shots on the power play tonight. 12 of their 26 off the face-off, though. Klott clears it, length of the ice. Cornwall having to play that one as Ryan drops it back. The Big Red restarting here on the power play. Figueres to Ryan, ahead for Devlin. Devlin through the circle, lost his footing as he drops it in front, and Novak is there to gobble it up.
Devlin getting some speed, getting under the defender. Not able to get a clean pass across as he was getting tangled up. Keep this power play unit out there.
Castagna against Bernhardt, clearly the best face-off man for the Czechs, and he wins another one and is actually able to take it right off the draw and clear the zone. Figueres behind his own net, driven there by the forecheck of Bernhardt. And now it is Major who slips, and here comes Bernhardt. Bernhardt, the shot goes wide. Really nice sequence for him. Ryan carries ahead for Cornell. Drops it for Figueres. Makes his way to the red line, now the blue. Figueres sends it behind the net. Pisagac is there, can't clear it out. Ryan along the wall, gets it back. Figueres with it through the screen. Pinballing around, makes its way to the crease. It's taken there by Novak.
Another nice job by Figueres to find the stick of Devlin right in front. Nice little tip, and Novak doing a nice job staying with it. Tracking that puck and staying tight. That easily could have gone between his legs had he opened up a little bit. So nice job by the Czech goaltender.
52 seconds left in the Cornell power play. Folda against Long on the draw. Folda wins it. And now Folda carrying ahead through center. Folda. Veilleux takes it away. Ashton with it. Looking for Veilleux. It goes off the back of the net. And it's picked up by Indra. Impressive kill so far for the Czech University Selects team.
Very aggressive in the offensive zone on this penalty kill.
Veilleux carries. Crisscrossing with Ashton, who has it. Back up top, Veilleux to Ashton. High slot, toe drag, shot through the screen, blocked in front. Ashton keeps it in the zone. To DeJulian, one-timer, saved by Novak. Long from the corner. DeJulian, back to Long. DeJulian a goal tonight. Trying to thread the needle in front, it's blocked, and Folda. Team at even strength, shy of the red line, clears it into the Cornell zone, and icing is the call, despite the fact that Jobanek says he got there first.
I'd say it looked very similar to the one earlier called against the Big Red, so I'd argue both players were right, but doesn't matter what we think up here as they come back in the defensive zone for the Czech. Big Red offensive zone face-off opportunity.
Catalano will take the draw for the Big Red. Beneš for the Czech University selects team. Catalano wins it. Arsenault able to pick it up through traffic, puts on the shot, saved by Novak. Impressive retention of possession for Arsenault as he had some bodies by him.
Yeah, he showed his strength, strong on his stick, wherewithal to get that puck to the net, get a shot on net, hope for a rebound, but be satisfied with the offensive zone face-off.
Whistle off the draw as Beneš and Catalano will do it again. Catalano, you have to figure he's fighting for, let's call it a fourth center type of role. Good on the circle, good defensively, a chance to shut down one of the other team's top players.
He has spent a lot of time last year and again this year so far in practice, just the end of practice, working on face-offs, practicing the trade every day at the end of practice.
Another icing call against the Czech team brings an offensive zone draw for Cornell. Catalano and Beneš again. Catalano wins this cleanly, but Hamilton can't keep it in. Freshman tracks it down. Across to Fisher. Off the skate of Catalano to center ice. Novak. Fisher tips it free in the corner. Pirtle back to Fisher. Plays it up to Hamilton. Arsenault chips it. Catalano can't get there at the line. Now has to get onside. Arsenault drops it down in the zone, but again, couldn't do anything with it as Novak has it. Piskach. Back across. Bernat gets it to the Cornell line, glove down by Fisher. Battle for it there. Castagna lost an edge as he went after it, but Pirtle brings it over. Pirtle in front for DeSantis. The shot saved by Novak. Pirtle found DeSantis in space. DeSantis on the forecheck. Yindra is able to fight that off and send it through the center zone. This could be an icing. It will. And the face-off back into the Czech end.
Yeah. Fantastic pass by Pirtle to find DeSantis wide open on the backside. Novak doing a great job again, staying aggressive, challenging the shooter. DeSantis was trying to go 5-hole between the legs, and Novak shut it down and made a nice save.
Christian Novak has stopped 14 of 15 he has faced, coming in relief in the second after Antonin Novak had a tough first period. Here's Orsak. Sends it wide. Jobanek sends it out in front. And that was a save by Cornell on Kukazicek. Long in the neutral zone. Takes a check by Kukazicek. Nabalek gets it to center. Jobanek is the one who sends it in. Kraft off the left side wall, backhands it out. Relieved some pressure for a moment as Bernat got it in on net from outside the zone. Is Veyu to Julian, got a piece, icing waved off. Nabalek on it first, Kraft meets up with him. Kraft trying to take it away, gets it behind the cage. Kraft looking for Devlin in front, Veyu takes it instead, the shot saved by Novak. Boy, if this was a closer game after one, you'd be saying the Big Red ran into a Hut goalkeeper. It has been a nice display by Christian Novak. Cornell leaves it for Veyu. And Veyu lost it in front and a goal off the turnover. Vovcek, his second of the game. The game's only multi-goal scorer. makes it a 7-2 game.
Yeah, Vavček spending time down there, capitalizing on the turnovers, both on the first one and the second one here. Quick little release, beating Cornell, low blocker side. Heads up shot by him.
So Rubel and Major on the face-off after the second goal of the game by Vavček. Here's Hamilton. Over to Hiscock. Fisher at center ice, bumped by Rizaha. Major brings it over. Drops it down the wall. Hiscock. Pirtle looking to center. Here's Major. Turns and fires, deflected in front. Hiscock trying to settle, couldn't do it. Rubel on it, looking to clear, gets it to Fulda. Fulda to the red line. Could not work that one. By Fisher. Icing the call, Ryan didn't have the red line, and he had a chance to get to the red line, it looked like. Tony just sent it in before.
Yeah, I think he was trying to bounce it into space for Charlie Major, but a little bit too far ahead of him.
Major had made his way to the bench, comes back to the ice, off the icing. Benish on the draw against Major. Benish off the left side wall, gets this one back up top. A wrist shot by Piskach, goes wide. Fisher gets it free, Major. Lost it in the left circle. Benish lost an edge and the puck. Fisher pokes it loose, sends it through center. This one rolls to the end boards and an icing call again. So a tired Cornell crew on the ice.
Yeah. Cornell looking to slow up the change a little. A couple extra bodies made their way out there, but the original five are still out.
Major face-off win against Kukazicek. Hiscock slides it through center. Jobanek on the backhand gets it to Klott. He finds the red line and clears into the Cornell zone. Gorski takes a check. Puck comes free, Orsic. Gorski along the end boards with O'Brien. He comes in to help. O'Brien takes a check by Kukazicek. He's down on the rocks, but there's Catalano. Gets it to Donaldson. And another giveaway. Here's Kukazicek. The shot saved by the sliding Gorski on the Ren Pirtle. Trying to put on a move through the right circle. Klatt was not fooled. Takes the puck away. O'Brien at center ice to Pirtle. Donaldson down the left wing side. Here's Donaldson left circle. His shot saved by Novak. If Novak gets a clean look at it, he's not letting it go. Wraparound chance by Donaldson. And Novak looks like he stopped it. There's some celebrating in the stands, but light never went on. Official, the referee, did not signal. It seems as though Novak made the save as he continues to impress. 9:32 left in the third. Big Red on top, 7-2. We'll take a break. This is ECAC Hockey on ESPN+.
It's the greatest combination of athletics and academics you can get in a university, and it's really humbling being surrounded by so many like-minded people.
It's an institution with a lot of history.
Now I'm in this place where I know how to balance my life, and it's great.
Here, there is such a focus on academics and athletics, and so you get to play at a really high level, but you also get to be in the classroom at a really high level.
It's been special to throw on this color every day. It's been something I'm very grateful for.
We see the promises you make. Doing more than your fair share. Working twice as hard. Saving lives, changing lives. And your life's work deserves nothing less than a lifetime guarantee. You made a promise. So did we. TIAA's promise of a guaranteed retirement paycheck for life is a promise that pays off.
Seven-two Big Red, the Czech University selects team. Doing a nice job here the last couple of periods, though, after a 6-0 outburst by Cornell in the first. Ruto over the line, his shot deflected, it goes out of play.
And really we're seeing this Czech team in the third period bring even more energy than what we saw in the second period. They've really been able to make this game much more competitive than what it looked like it was going to be at the outset. You look at a 6-0 first period for the Big Red, 1-1 second period, and right now the Czechs are up 1-0 in the third.
In fairness, Cornell does have 9 shots just over midway through this third period, so it's not as if the Big Red haven't shown up here in the third. Figueres down to the rocks. Ashton couldn't pick it up, but Castagna does. Knocked around the Czech line. DeSantis in the backhand trying to find long, broken up. Napolek carrying ahead offside the call.
And Novak's been a difference maker for the Czechs here in the second and third period. He's really played well in goal and keeping the Big Red off the board. As you said, there have been chances.
This faceoff's coming back into the Czech end. To Julian to take it against Robel. To Julian wins it. Kraft right off the draw. Trying to thread the needle in front, but Folda takes it away. Rzija works it to the end wall. Folda's there. Back up top. Werner through the screen, blocked by the sliding Devlin. Rzija from the corner, on a knee, gets it to Robel, who puts on a shot. That one goes wide. Not sure Kernway even saw it. Devlin flips it into the neutral zone. Werner met by Kraft, who taps it ahead to Julian. Giving chase, and Kraft didn't have the red line, icing the call. Face off, coming back in the Cornell zone.
Yeah, nice screen in front of Kernway by the Czech team. And as you said, that actually went off the post. Heard some metal up here.
Benish on the draw to Julian coming on for Cornell, and he will take the faceoff. Julian had made his way off on the icing and had to get his way back on, off the draw. He wins it, Ryan through center. Ryan sends it behind the cage, poked at there by Hiscock. Now Ryan gets it back. We mentioned that Casey Jones had kept the former junior teammates Hiscock and Pirtle together, not here. O'Brien takes a check. Piskach works this one ahead and picked up by Benish. Benish into the Cornell zone. That was almost a Benish to Benish connection. It was Michael Benish trailing as Matej Benish looked to find him. Hiscock behind the Cornell net, hands it off. Here's Major. Major through center. Kukazicek. Major in front for Arsenault. The save by Novak. Jobanek gets this one ahead, carrying through center. Yindra sends it behind the cage. Klatt thought about sending him back in, realized he had two teammates who were offside if he did. Hamilton getting this one to Pirtle, has to come back behind the net. Now drops it to the stick of Figueres. Icing waved off. Catalano along the end wall. In front for Pirtle, couldn't get a shot off. Catalano gets it back. Hamilton at the point. Pirtle gets by him in the corner. Fisher to Pirtle, back up top, one-time chance, saved by Novak. Catalano put it on. And again, Novak has now saved 20 of 21.
And Arsenault right on the doorstep, using that frame to get a screen on Novak. Novak fighting through it to find that puck. And a great job of not putting any rebound out there.
Catalano on the draw against Bernat. Catalano wins this one. Fisher through the screen. It goes wide. Out with it, Ruta sends it to Bernat at center. He comes across, but he is met by Arsenault. Fabric clears into the Cornell end. Ashton backhands it to Fisher. To the neutral zone, out of the reach of DeSantis, tipped back into the Cornell end. Ashton is there ahead for Castagna. Bumped off by Orsic. DeSantis carried over, but
Castagna just
already there.
stride ahead of him. Yep.
5:43 left in the third. Well, assuming this game doesn't materially change from where it is right now, what are some of your, or at least what you think some of Casey Jones's big takeaways are from this first look at the Big Red?
A lot of capability, skill, good intensity, physicality. Going to have to work on some of the details and responsibilities. Things happening a little bit quicker and just getting the young guys used to that.
DeSantis drops it at the doorstep, but Novak is there.
Especially in the defensive zone. Some of the assignments or responsibilities, being aware of where guys are, who's sliding in and out of that soft spot, slot area. But details that you can only really pick up when you're playing in a real game experience against people other than your own teammates who know your tendencies.
Diving attempt by Folda to get it out of the zone to Julian. Checking along the end wall, Devlin as well, and good work to keep it in for Garris. Deflected back to Kraft, into the glove of Novak.
One of the things you're going to be happy with as a coach is the speed with which the Big Red get through the neutral zone. They get up ice in transition quickly and really get the puck through the neutral zone, north-south, really well, which is going to create significant offensive zone opportunities, both on the forecheck and just carrying the puck in the zone.
Arsenault keeping it in the zone for Cornell. Devlin from the corner. Back up top. Figueres through the screen, and again that glove by Novak has been a weapon defensively for this Czech team. Not only a lot of new faces on the ice for Cornell, obviously Casey Jones taking over for Mike Schaefer behind the bench. A couple of new assistants as well. Chris Brown, Cam Clark joining the staff. Sean Flanagan returning for his 11th season with the Big Red. But Tony, I know you've worked with this coaching staff quite a bit, and some new faces with Chris Brown and Cam Clark.
Yeah, and Josh Robertson also in hockey ops, and the new faces are great to have. Real nice perspective, some real good experience, and connecting with the guys real well on the ice and in practice.
Klott tries to clear. Major kept it in for the moment as he was met by Benesh. Here's the other Benesh carrying it over. Postcard checked off the puck. Now Major catches up to it in the Czech zone. Major backhands this one down to Ryan. Ryan absorbs the check and throws it up along the end wall. Gorski waiting for it at the point. Benesh couldn't play it. Here's Major between the circles. Nifty move. The shot kicked aside by Novak. Claude takes it away behind the net. Can't clear the zone. Gorski keeps it in. Hiscock cross ice looking for Pirtle. Bounces off the wall and right onto the stick of Jobanek. Jobanek looking for the return pass from Yindra. Yindra goes to the end wall. The student section jangling their keys, saying warm up the plane, a takeoff on the warm up the bus chant that most teams get here at Lina Rink. I'm not sure taking out the keys for that chant makes much sense. If you're warming up the plane, I don't think.
I hope not.
You just turn a key. Arsenault makes his way to the neutral zone. Red line, now the blue. Arsenault goes across. Fisher to Veilleux. There's Pirtle. Yindra checked up Pirtle, loosened that puck, and Piskach is on it. Drops this one through the center zone. Veilleux after it. Ruta on the forecheck. Veilleux gets it into the corner. Fisher back to Veilleux. Catalano taking off his stick. Ediol clears it into the Cornell end. Panic watches as Bernat has it. Bernat hands it off. The shot comes to Cournoyer. It leaked out in front. And a good job. I think that might have been either Fisher or Catalano who got a piece to sweep it out of trouble. Now Fisher at center. Gets the red line. Tried to clear it into the Czech zone, but it went instead to the Czech bench. Anthony Novak got the save on the bench as Christian Novak has been making a number of saves on the ice.
Yeah. Christian Novak has had a heck of a game here in relief.
Castagna swings that one back to the Cornell line. Hamilton is there. Here's Figueres, clears it into the Czech zone. Klot takes it off the end wall. Off the boards and out. Figueres tracking it down. DeSantis forecheck by Rizija. There's been no quit in this Czech team. Battle of the puck along the wall. Collected by Figueres. Backhands this one, trying to send in long, but stepping in. Orsek intercepts, sends it back into the Cornell end. This could be a chance coming up. Here comes DeSantis, chips it to Long. Castagna collects. Castagna couldn't quite get it on net as he lost the angle. DeSantis in front for Castagna. Novak with the save. O'Brien on the backhand. Broken up. Fulda intercepts. Glides into the neutral zone, gets the red line and clears it into the Cornell end. Under a minute to go. Ashton. Benish breaks it up. Rolls this one into the Cornell end. Benish and McCready check each other off. Ashton on the puck. Works it to Devlin, who slides it through the center zone. Kraft trying to chip it free from Novak. Instead, Postcar has it. That hit Devlin offside the call. Devlin trying to clear the zone, but that one caught a piece of him with 32.5 seconds left to go.
Well, as the Big Red look at this outing tonight, they'll get a lot of good tape to be able to watch as they prepare for next week in the National Development Team, under 18 team coming in. And I'm sure next week we'll see a few new faces in the lineup. A couple of the guys who sat out tonight probably will end up in the lineup just to get a game under their belt ahead of the the opening weekend against UMass.
By the way, back to the warm-up, the plane chant.
Yeah.
The Czech team will face Skidmore and Castleton this weekend, or I should say next weekend. So, no, actually this weekend they'll face those two teams. So they're still taking a bus.
Yeah.
Devlin flips this one up. 10 seconds to go. Veyu tips it ahead into the Czech zone. Kraft keeps it in. Kraft drops it in front. The chance by Julian looking for his second. It's still loose. And now cleared away by Jobanek. So a flurry by the Big Red. Maybe some bookends there as, of course, Cornell started fast. 6 goals in the first. Nice burst at the end there, but all in all, strong night for the Big Red. 7-2 final here tonight.
Yeah, nice outing. Get that first game under their belt. And back to the drawing board and practice tomorrow and start working towards next weekend's game.
Again, it will be next up for the Big Red, the second and final exhibition game against the U.S. National Team Development Program under-18 team here at Lina Rink next Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Tony, you're going to have to sneak it in quickly. Your 3 stars of the game. Don't know if you had them ready to go, but it is a tradition unlike any other. Yeah. Tony Eisenut's 3 stars of the game.
We're going to go with Nicky DeSantis as the 3rd star, and Novak for the Czech team is the 2nd star, and I'm going to give Johnny Castagna the 1st star with his goal and assist tonight.
And so 7-2 final here. Cornell with the victory, putting up 7 goals on 41 shots. As it was a strong night, first look, and a strong first impression for the Cornell Big Red. So for Tony Eisenut, I'm Jason Weinstein.